So this week's video fits into the tips and tricks category. So hopefully this is a good one for you. We're going to do lining up stencils. So I like to use stencils, but the hardest part sometimes can be how to get them to sort of match. If you're doing a stencil that has to sort of meet in the same spot, how do you get them to stay in the same place long enough to mark them and get everything to match the way you do? So I'm going to talk about that today, which hopefully you guys will enjoy, and if you don't, please don't tell me, because I don't need that kind of criticism in my life. Alright, we're going to talk about how I line up stencils with my quilting. So, if I was using this stencil on a quilt, I want it to be square with my quilt, and when I go to do the second set of the stencils, I want to line up with the first. And it can be hard if I'm just holding it down to get everything to stay without moving. So what I do is I take a big corsage pin like this, and I would line it up with, let's just draw in the edge of my quilt here. So if that's the edge of my quilt and I want my stencil to line up with that edge, what I would do is I'm just going to stick a pin through the edge of my stencil and stick it just straight down into my quilt on that line. And I'm going to do that in a few spots on my stencil, and I want to go straight up and down so it's not moving. And once I've got a few on this side, I'm going to do a few on the other side as well, just to make sure it's not going to move. And now you can see that's nice and stable, it's not moving around. I can mark out the stencil, pull out all my pins, move it over, and line up again just by sticking pins. I want to go straight up and down, stick some pins in to hold it in place, and then mark. So there's some pins holding it in place, and then mark. And it's really simple and easy, and is a great way to keep the stencils from moving around while you mark them out. So that's all I've got for you this time. Hopefully that makes some amount of sense.